The concrete tastes like metal and dirt. My cheek presses against it, and I can't remember if I'm breathing or if breathing even matters anymore. Somewhere above my head, maybe 10 feet, maybe 1,000, crystal glasses clink together. Laughter rolls through the floorboards like thunder. 14 scratches on the wall. 14 days in this tomb. My wedding ring carved each one until my finger bled black in the darkness. I can't see the blood, but I know it's there. I know because I put my finger in my mouth yesterday and tasted copper. The door at the top of the stairs is oak, solid. Marcus installed it 3 years ago with brass hinges that don't squeak. For security, he'd said, kissing my forehead while he worked. Hi, viewers. Kindly tell us where you're watching from and what time it is. My name is Cordelia Marchesa. I'm 59 years old, and until 2 weeks ago, I taught piano lessons in my living room. Children came every Tuesday and Thursday, their small fingers stumbling over scales while I guided them with patience I learned from 32 years of marriage. My son Desmond tells me I have kind eyes, had kind eyes. I don't know what my eyes look like anymore. Marcus used to say I was boring. Not to my face, never to my face until the end. But I heard it once when he thought I was asleep. He was on the phone in the garage, his voice muffled through the walls. She's just so predictable, you know? Same routine every day. Same haircut for 20 years. Same everything. I never told him I heard that. Above me now, footsteps cross from the kitchen to the living room. 2 sets. One heavy, Marcus in his work boots, the ones with the steel toes. One lighter, heels clicking on hardwood like a countdown. Click, click, click. Her name is Sienna, 26 years old with hair the color of October leaves. She works at the coffee shop on Main Street, the one that opened last year with the exposed brick walls and the espresso machine that sounds like a dying cat. Marcus started going there 6 months ago, said their coffee was better than mine. He was right about that, at least. My tongue sticks to the roof of my mouth. The utility sink in the corner drips every 43 seconds, I've counted, and that rusty water is the only reason I'm still conscious. Still here, still scratching marks into concrete with a ring that promised forever. Desmond doesn't know I'm here. My beautiful boy with his father's jawline and my mother's determination. He's on a cruise ship somewhere between Alaska and nowhere, watching glaciers calve into dark water. I told him to go. Saved money from piano lessons for 2 years to help pay for it. He works doubles at the hospital, 70-hour weeks as a nurse, and he needed rest. He needed to not be here. The bed springs creak upstairs. My bedroom. My quilt that my grandmother stitched by hand. My pillows that smell like lavender because I make my own sachets every spring. Sienna laughs again, high and bright like breaking glass. I close my eyes, but it doesn't matter. The darkness is the same either way. My daughter Penelope died 15 years ago. Leukemia ate her from the inside out while I held her hand and lied about heaven. She was 13 and braver than any soldier. At the end, when her lips were cracked and her skin was tissue paper thin, she squeezed my fingers and whispered, "Don't be sad, Mama. I'll wait for you." I wonder if she's still waiting. I wonder if this basement will be where she stops. The washing machine hums against my back. I'm lying next to it because the concrete here is slightly warmer from the motor. Small comforts. My hip throbs where it cracked against the metal edge when Marcus shoved me. That was day 1, Tuesday morning. I was transferring towels from washer to dryer and I heard footsteps on the stairs. 2 sets. I should have run then. Should have known from the sound alone. Purposeful, synchronized, wrong. But I just turned around with a damp towel pressed to my chest like it could protect me. Marcus stood 3 steps up. Blank face, dead eyes. Behind him, Sienna emerged from shadows wearing my pearl earrings. Cordelia, Marcus says my name like he's reading it off a grocery list. No inflection, no history, just 4 syllables that used to mean wife, mother, partner, and now mean nothing at all. I drop the towel. It lands on my feet, heavy and wet. We need to talk. He descends 1 step. His hand grips the railing I sanded and stained myself last summer while he worked late. Always working late. Sienna moves past him, her heels loud as gunshots on concrete. She's wearing white jeans and a red blouse. My red blouse. The one I bought for our anniversary dinner last year and never wore because Marcus said it made me look like I was trying too hard. It fits her perfectly. About what? My voice comes out smaller than I want. I clear my throat. Try again. About what? Marcus? He won't look at me. His eyes fix on a point somewhere above my head like I'm already gone, already erased. I want a divorce. The words are flat, rehearsed. I want the house. I want everything. The washing machine behind me clicks into spin cycle. Water sloshes inside the drum, around and around and around. You can't, I start, but Sienna cuts me off. We can. She's close now, close enough that I smell her perfume, something expensive and sharp. She pulls something from her pocket, a pill bottle, orange plastic with a white cap. My name printed on the label in black letters. See, everyone knows you've been depressed since your daughter died. Everyone knows you take these. Anxiety medication. Dr. Hoffman prescribed it after Penelope's funeral when I couldn't sleep for 3 months straight. What are you doing? The basement tilts, the walls close in, Sienna smiles. Her teeth are perfect, straight and white like a toothpaste commercial. You're going to have a little accident. Take too many of these. Lock yourself down here in your grief. It happens all the time, doesn't it? Sad widows who can't cope? I'm not a widow. Not yet. Marcus finally meets my eyes. But you will be. To me, anyway. And when Desmond comes back from his cruise and finds you down here, confused, dehydrated, talking nonsense about conspiracies, who do you think he'll believe? His unstable mother who never got over losing her daughter? Or his concerned father who tried everything to help her? The pills rattle as Sienna shakes the bottle. 2 weeks is a long time to be alone in the dark, Cordelia. A long time to lose your mind. My phone. I need my phone. It's upstairs on the kitchen counter where I left it charging. Marcus pulls something from his back pocket. My phone. The case has a crack across the screen from when I dropped it last month. Already handled. He types with his thumbs, his face illuminated by the blue glow. Texting Desmond now. Having wonderful time with Dad. Taking a second honeymoon to the cabin. Don't worry about calling. Love you. He looks up. The cabin where we scattered Penelope's ashes. He'll think it's romantic. Healing. The cabin. Our sacred place. The place where we conceived our daughter under pine trees and August stars. The place where we said goodbye to her 3 years later. He's weaponizing even that. Marcus, please. I take a step toward him. 32 years. That has to mean something. It means I wasted 32 years on someone who stopped trying. His voice is ice. You stopped caring about how you looked, about being interesting, about being anything other than boring. There's that word again. Boring. I run. Stupid. Instinct. No thought behind it, just movement. I lunge for the stairs, trying to get past them, trying to reach the door, the phone, anything. Marcus catches my arm. His fingers dig into my bicep like talons. Those hands that used to hold mine gently during movies. Those hands that braided Penelope's hair when she was too weak to lift her arms. Those hands throw me backward. My hip catches the edge of the washing machine. Something cracks. Pain explodes up my side, white hot and nauseating. I collapse onto the concrete, gasping. Sienna crouches down, us. Her face hovers inches from mine, peppermint breath. Desmond's a nurse, isn't he? Smart boy, so we can't just give you the pills. No, that would be too obvious. She stands, brushes invisible dust from her knees. But 2 weeks alone down here with just water? You'll be so weak, so confused, so clearly mentally unstable that whatever you say won't matter. You'll seem crazy, and we'll seem like the concerned family members who tried to save you. Marcus moves to the door, pulls it closed halfway, light narrows to a wedge. There's a bucket in the corner. Sienna points into the darkness. Use it wisely. The door slams. The light dies. The bolt slides home with a sound like a coffin closing. Total darkness swallows everything. I scream. My throat tears itself raw. The sound bounces off concrete walls and comes back to me. Pathetic, animal, useless. I scramble to my feet, ignoring the fire in my hip. My hands find the stairs in the blackness. I climb. 1, 2, 3 steps. My fists hammer against oak. Marcus, Marcus, please, don't do this. Nothing. I pound until my hands go numb, pound until my knuckles split and something warm runs down my wrists, pound until my shoulders give out and I slide down to sit on the steps, panting. Above me, footsteps cross the floor. Calm, unhurried. The refrigerator opens, closes. Ice cubes clink into a glass. They're making drinks. My hip throbs. I touch it gently, probing through my jeans. Swollen already. Hot to the touch. Maybe fractured, maybe worse. I think about what Desmond said last month when he was studying for his trauma certification. Hip fractures in older adults are serious, Mom. They can lead to complications. Blood clots, infection. I'm 59. That counts as older. The washing machine hums somewhere below me in the darkness. Still running its cycle. Still doing its job like nothing's wrong. I try to remember the layout. The basement is rectangular, maybe 30 feet by 20. Washing machine and dryer against the left wall. Utility sink in the far corner. Water heater on the right. Storage shelves near the stairs. Tool bench under the window wells, hope flickers. There are 3 small windows near the ceiling, ground level on the outside. They let in strips of daylight during the day. If I can reach them, if I can break them, but they're too high. 8 feet up, maybe more. And they're covered with metal grates, Marcus installed for security. For his security. I ease myself down the stairs, one careful step at a time. My hip screams. I bite my lip until I taste blood. The concrete floor is ice against my palms as I crawl forward. I count my movements. 10 crawls straight ahead should take me to the utility sink. 3, 4, 5. My hand touches metal. The dryer. Wrong direction. I adjust. Crawl left. My knee lands on something sharp. I bite back a cry. 12 crawls later, my fingers find porcelain. The sink. Old and stained and beautiful. I pull myself up using the edge. Feel for the faucet in the darkness. Turn it. Nothing. Terror floods my chest. I turn it the other way. Water coughs out, stuttering, cold, metallic. I cup my hands under the stream and drink. It tastes like rust and minerals and salvation. I drink until my stomach cramps, until I'm shivering from cold, until the sound of running water is the only thing keeping me sane. The cabin was Marcus's idea. 6 years into our marriage, before Penelope was born, he found a property listing for a small A-frame in the mountains, 3 hours north. Pine trees and silence. We could go there when things get stressful, he'd said, showing me the photos. Just us, no distractions. We bought it with money from my mother's inheritance. Spent weekends fixing it up. I painted the shutters yellow. He built a deck overlooking the valley. Penelope was conceived there during a thunderstorm. We named her after the constellation we saw through the skylight, Penelope's crown. When she died, we took half her ashes there. Scattered them under the pines while Marcus held me, and we both cried until we couldn't breathe. She'll always be in the trees now, he'd whispered. Always with us. And now he's using that place, that sacred ground, as his alibi. I turn off the faucet, save water, be smart. In the darkness, I feel my way along the wall. My fingers find the vertical studs every 16 inches. I count them. Use them to map the space in my mind. 18 studs to the corner, turn left, 22 studs to the next corner. My wedding ring scrapes against concrete. I stop, press the band against the wall and drag it downward. A line appears, faint gray and absolute black. 1 mark, 1 day. Above me, music starts playing, something with a heavy beat, the kind of music Marcus hated. Too loud, he'd always say when I played the radio while cooking. Can't we have some peace? But now he's playing it. For her. The bed springs creak again. Rhythmic. Unmistakable. I slide down the wall and sit on the concrete. Pull my knees to my chest. Rock back and forth. Penelope's voice whispers in my memory. Mama, are you scared? She'd asked me that the night before she died. Her hand in mine, so small and cold. No, baby, I'd lied. Mama's not scared. Good, she'd said. Because I'm not either. I'm just going somewhere new. I press my forehead against my knees. Morning arrives as a gray suggestion through the window wells. Not light, just less darkness. I'm still sitting against the wall. My hip has gone from hot pain to a deep, grinding ache. When I try to stand, my leg buckles. I crawl to the sink instead. Drink more rust water. My stomach is a hollow drum. Day 2. The house above me is silent. Morning silence. The kind that used to mean Marcus had already left for the hardware store and I had the house to myself. Time to practice piano before the students arrived. I wonder if he's lying next to her right now, in my bed, under my grandmother's quilt. I wonder if she's wearing my nightgown. My fists clench. The rage surprises me, hot and sudden and clarifying. I'm not going to die down here. I crawl to the storage shelves, feel my way along cardboard boxes and plastic containers. Christmas decorations, old photo albums, Penelope's baby clothes that I couldn't bring myself to donate. My hand closes around something metal, cold, heavy. A flashlight. I press the button. Nothing. Press it again. Click. 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 Dead batteries. Of course. I throw it. It clatters somewhere in the darkness. The tool bench. Marcus keeps supplies there. Maybe batteries. Maybe something I can use to break the door, break a window, break free. I crawl toward where I think the bench should be. My hands sweep the floor in wide arcs. Something skitters across my palm, multiple legs, fast. I jerk back, swallowing a scream. Spider, just a spider, but my heart hammers like I've seen a ghost. I find the bench eventually, pull myself up, run my hands across the surface. Screwdrivers, hammer, nails, box of screws, wrenches, no batteries. But the hammer could work. I grip the handle, make my way back to the stairs. Each step up is agony. My hip grinds, pops, threatens to give out. At the top, I raise the hammer, swing it at the door with everything I have left. The sound is massive, explosive. My ears ring. A tiny dent appears in the oak. I swing again, again, again. 10 swings later, my arms are rubber. The dent is maybe a 1/4 inch deep. The door is 3 inches thick. I slide down, sit on the steps. The hammer falls from my hands and bounces down to the concrete below. Above me, footsteps, quick, light, Sienna. Oh, sweetie. Her voice comes through the door, muffled but clear. That's not going to work. That door is solid oak. Marcus built it himself. You know how thorough he is. I say nothing. Won't give her the satisfaction. Are you drinking the sink water? Good girl. We want you alive. Just diminished. Her footsteps retreat. I sit there until my breathing normalizes, until the rage cools back to ice. Desmond taught me about survival during his wilderness medicine course. He'd come home full of facts, eager to share. The rule of threes, Mom. 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. I have water. I just need to survive until he comes home. 14 days total. I've used 2. 12 more. I can do 12 more. I make my way back down the stairs, back to the wall where I scratched the first mark. Pull off my wedding ring. The metal scrapes concrete. A second line appears next to the first. Day 2. Above me, the shower turns on. Pipes rattle in the walls, someone singing, off-key and cheerful. Sienna, singing in my shower, using my soap, my shampoo, my towels. I press my ring against the wall and drag it down hard enough that my finger splits open again. The singing continues. I crawl to the sink, drink until my stomach hurts. Then I find the darkest corner, the farthest from the stairs, and I curl up on the concrete. Penelope used to have nightmares. She'd wake up crying, and I'd go to her room and lie down next to her small body. Tell me the good dream, Mama, she'd whisper. So I would. I'd make up stories about princesses and dragons and happy endings, about brave girls who faced monsters and won. You're the brave girl, I'd tell her, stroking her hair. You're my hero. No, Mama, she'd say, already drifting back to sleep. You are. I close my eyes in the darkness. Day 7 arrives like a punishment. I can't stand anymore. The room spins when I try. My hip is swollen to twice its normal size. I can feel it through my jeans, hot and tight and wrong. My clothes hang off me like I'm a scarecrow. I pull at my waistband. It slides down easily. How much weight have I lost? 10 pounds? 15 size? I was always thin. Willowy. My mother called it. Now I'm skeletal. The utility sink drips, 43 seconds between drops. I've counted thousands of times. It's the only clock I have. I drink from it 4 times a day, morning, noon, evening, night. I measure time by thirst. My stomach stopped growling on day 4. Now it just aches, a constant gnawing emptiness that makes my head swim. Above me, they're having a party. Music thumps through the floorboards. Voices laugh and shout. Glasses clink. Someone drops something heavy, probably dancing, and everyone cheers. They're celebrating. I drag myself to the wall, scratch mark number 7 into the concrete. The ring is dull now, coated in stone dust and blood. My finger doesn't bleed anymore. I don't think I have enough blood left to bleed. I think about Penelope at the end, the last week in the hospital when her body was giving up. She looked like a baby bird, all bones and translucent skin. Her eyes were huge in her shrunken face. "Does it hurt, baby?" I'd asked, holding her hand. "Not anymore," she'd said. "I'm just tired, Mama. So tired." Is this what she felt? This weakness that turns your body into a stranger? I talk to her now, out loud, in the darkness. "I'm trying, Penny. I'm trying to stay." Her voice answers back, soft and clear. "I know, Mama. You're doing so good. I know she's not really here. I know it's my mind breaking. But I don't care. Tell me a good dream," I whisper. And she does. Her voice fills the basement with stories about sunlight and piano lessons and a house where no one locks you away to die. Day 10. I'm lying on the concrete because sitting up takes too much effort. My cheek rests in a small puddle of sink water that I was too weak to drink earlier. The house is quiet today. Maybe they left. Maybe they went to work, pretending everything is normal. Maybe Marcus is at the hardware store right now, recommending drill bits to customers, smiling, being helpful. "How's the wife?" someone might ask. "Oh, she's fine," he'd say. "We're actually taking a second honeymoon, trying to reconnect." I hear music, piano music. Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major, the one I played at Penelope's funeral. But there's no piano in the basement. The piano is upstairs in the living room. I'm hallucinating. "Mama, you need to drink more water." Penelope's voice, right next to my ear. "I'm too tired, baby." I was tired too, but I kept going. So do you. I open my eyes, or maybe they were already open. In the darkness, it doesn't matter. My hand finds the wall, pulls me forward, inch by inch, dragging my useless hip behind me. The sink is 10 feet away, might as well be 10 miles, but I move because my dead daughter told me to, because somewhere inside this failing body, something refuses to quit. My finger touches porcelain. I pull myself up, turn the faucet. Water runs over my hands. I cup them, drink, cough, drink more. "Good girl," Penelope whispers. Day 11. Something changes. I wake up, if you can call it waking when sleep and consciousness have blurred into the same gray nothing, and the fear is gone. In its place, ice. Cold, clear, sharp. I'm going to survive this. And when I do, there will be consequences. Marcus thinks I'm boring, predictable, weak. He's about to learn how wrong he is. I drag myself to the wall, scratch the 11th mark so hard that concrete dust fills my mouth. Above me, heavy boots thud across the floor. Not Marcus's footsteps. Different. Multiple sets. Men's voices, deep, rumbling. "Yeah, we can install that next week." "What about the deck?" Contractors, they're getting quotes for renovations, for their new life. In my house. With my insurance money after I'm gone. I crawl to the base of the stairs, use every ounce of strength to climb 3 steps. My fist hits the door, weak, pathetic, barely a sound. The voices continue above me, discussing measurements, costs, timeline. They can't hear me. I hit the door again. Nothing. The voices fade. The front door closes, truck engines start and drive away. Hope dies like a candle in wind. I slide back down the stairs, all the way to the bottom. Lie on the concrete and count my breaths in, out, in, out. My hand touches my face, my cheekbones jut out like knives. My lips are cracked into canyons. When I swallow, my throat feels like broken glass. Day 12 tomorrow. Desmond comes home day 14. 2 more days. I just need 2 more days. You can do 2 days, Penelope says. That's nothing, Mama. Remember when I did 42 days of chemo? I remember. I remember holding her hair while she vomited. I remember her smile even when her mouth was full of sores. I remember her courage. I'm not as brave as you were, I whisper into the darkness. Yes, you are, she says. You just don't know it yet. Day 12. The darkness has texture now. It presses against my eyeballs like wet cotton. I can't get up. My body won't obey anymore. When I try to lift my head, the basement tilts sideways and my vision, what's left of it, fills with sparks. My hip has stopped hurting. That should be good news, but I know better. Desmond told me once about nerve damage. When the pain suddenly stops, Mom, that's when you worry. I'm worried. The sink drips. 43 seconds. Over and over. A metronome counting down to nothing. Above me, footsteps. Heavy boots. Multiple pairs. Not Marcus. Different. My heart stutters, pounds against my ribs like it's trying to escape. More voices. Men. Deep and unfamiliar. We can start demo next Tuesday. What about permits? Already filed. Should be approved by Friday. Construction workers? Contractors? They're planning renovations? Picking out paint colors for my living room? Discussing tile options for my bathroom? Planning their future in my house. I open my mouth to scream. Nothing comes out but a wheeze, dry and pathetic. I drag myself across concrete. Inches. My arms shake. My hip drags behind me like dead weight. The stairs. If I can reach the stairs, if I can make noise. My hand finds the bottom step. I pull. My body follows. One step up. The voices continue above me, laughing, casual. I lift my fist. Bring it down on the door. The sound is nothing. Less than nothing. A whisper against oak. I try again. My knuckles split open, but I don't feel it. Thud, thud, thud. Yeah, the deck's got good bones, just needs refinishing. They can't hear me. Or they're ignoring me. Or I'm already dead and this is hell. I hit the door again, harder, using my palm because my knuckles won't work anymore. All right, we'll send you the estimate by Wednesday. Footsteps retreat. The front door opens, closes. Truck engines rumble to life in the driveway. Gravel crunches under tires. They're leaving. They were 10 feet above me and they're leaving. I slide down the stairs, all 3 steps. Land in a heap on the concrete floor. My breath comes in gasps. Short, sharp, wrong. This is day 12. Desmond comes home day 14. 2 more days. 48 hours. I count seconds in my head. 1, 2, 3, 4. At 100, I lose track. Start over. The darkness shifts, moves, takes shape. Penelope sits next to me. I can't see her, but I feel her small hand in mine. Mama, you have to keep drinking water. I'm too tired, baby. Just 2 more days. You can do 2 more days. Can I? My body is shutting down. I can feel it, systems failing one by one. My heart beats irregular. My lungs rattle. My thoughts scatter like marbles. Tell me about heaven, I whisper. It's warm, she says, and bright, and nobody hurts, but it's not time yet, Mama, not yet. When? Not for a long, long time. I close my eyes. Or maybe they're already closed. In the darkness, it's impossible to tell. Day 13 arrives without fanfare. I'm lying in my own waste. The bucket in the corner is too far away. I couldn't reach it if I tried. My tongue is leather. My lips are cracked open in places I didn't know lips could crack. When I breathe, something rattles in my chest. I think about Marcus upstairs, sleeping in our bed, his arm around Sienna's waist, her red hair spread across my pillow. Does he think about me? Does he come to the basement door and listen? Does he wonder if I'm already dead? I hope he does. I hope it keeps him awake. The sink drips. I count the drops, lose count. Start again. My wedding ring is still on my finger. Loose now. It slides when I move my hand. 32 years reduced to a circle of gold that doesn't fit anymore. I should take it off. Throw it into the darkness. Let it disappear, but I don't. Because it's the only weapon I have left. The only thing that can scratch marks into concrete. The only proof I existed. 13 marks on the wall, 13 days in this tomb. One more day, just one more. Desmond's plane lands tomorrow afternoon. He'll take a taxi home, walk through the front door with his suitcase and his tan and his stories about glaciers. He'll call out for me. Mom, Dad, I'm home! And Marcus will have to answer. What will he say? That I'm still at the cabin. That I decided to stay longer? Desmond will call my phone. It'll ring upstairs somewhere. Marcus will make excuses. And my son, my beautiful, smart, suspicious son, will know something's wrong. He'll know. A car door slams outside. Close, in the driveway. My heart stops, starts again, pounds. Footsteps on gravel, quick, purposeful, not Marcus's heavy boots. A key in the front door lock. The door opens, hinges squeak. Mom, Mom! Desmond, my son is home. Where is she? Desmond's voice shakes the floorboards. Where's my mother? I try to scream. My throat produces nothing but air, a wheeze, a ghost of sound. I'm on the concrete, can't move, can't lift my head, can't make noise. Above me, Marcus's voice, stammering, uncertain. Son, you're home early, the cruise. Where is she? Louder now, dangerous. She's at the cabin. We texted you. She wanted some time. That's a lie. Something crashes, glass shattering. I called the cabin owners. They said nobody's been there in months. My hand finds the floor. I drag myself forward, inch by agonizing inch. The stairs. I need to reach the stairs. Her phone's been off for 12 days, Desmond's voice cracks. 12 days, Dad. Mom never turns her phone off. Never. She's been depressed, unstable. We tried to help, but stop lying to me. More crashing, furniture overturning. Sienna's voice now high, frightened. Desmond, calm down. Where's my mother? A sound like fist hitting wall. What did you do? I pull myself another foot. My arms shake. My vision swims with black spots even though everything is already black. The stairs, 3 feet away. Might as well be 3 miles. Marcus again, voice shaking. She locked herself in the basement. We couldn't get her out. She's been having episodes. The basement. Silence. Heavy. Loaded. Then footsteps. Running. Coming closer. I lift my hand. Bring it down on the concrete. Once. Twice. The sound is weak as a heartbeat. The bolt slides. Metal scraping metal. The door flies open. Light explodes into the darkness, bright as a nuclear blast. It stabs through my eyes into my brain. I try to lift my arm to shield my face. Can't. My body won't respond. Oh God, Desmond's voice. Broken. Horrified. Oh my God. His footsteps thunder down the stairs. 2 at a time, 3 at a time. I fall backward, tumbling. My body hits steps, 1, 2, 3, and lands at the bottom in a heap. Can't feel it, can't feel anything anymore. Hands on my face, my neck. Professional, checking pulse. Checking breathing. Mom, can you hear me? Stay with me, stay with me. I try to focus on his face. Can't. The light is too bright. His features blur and swim. His phone appears. He's pressing buttons with shaking fingers. I need an ambulance at 847 Sycamore Drive, now. My mother... His voice breaks. Steadies. Nurse voice. Clinical. Severe dehydration. Malnutrition. Possible hip fracture. She's been locked in a basement for, he chokes. For days. Send police, too. He cradles my head in his lap. His hands brush my matted hair back from my face. I came home early because something felt wrong. The whole cruise, I couldn't shake it. Couldn't enjoy anything. Every time I looked at those glaciers, all I could think was that I needed to get home. Tears drip onto my face, hot against my cold skin. So I should have trusted that feeling sooner. I should have come home days ago. I try to lift my hand, try to touch his face, tell him it's not his fault. My fingers twitch. That's all I can manage. He catches my hand, holds it against his cheek. I've got you, Mom. I've got you now. Footsteps at the top of the stairs. Marcus. Desmond, listen to me. She's been unstable. This isn't what it looks like. Shut up! The roar comes from somewhere deep in Desmond's chest. Primal, rage-given voice. Just shut your goddamn mouth. I flinch. My son never yells, never curses. His arms tighten around me, protective. His voice drops to deadly calm, the calm of someone barely holding back violence. The door locks from the outside. I can see the bolt. The lock is on your side, not hers. Sirens wail in the distance, getting closer. Look at her. Desmond's voice is ice. Look at what you did. There's water in her hair from that utility sink. She's been drinking rust water to survive. There are scratch marks on the walls, on the door. 14 marks, 14 days. The sirens grow louder. Red and blue lights flash through the window wells, painting the basement in strobing color. My father, Desmond says the word like it's poison. My own father tried to kill my mother. For what? For that woman upstairs wearing Mom's jewelry? Heavy boots on the front porch. Multiple pairs. Radios crackling. Police, open the door! Marcus's footsteps retreat. The front door opens. Voices explode above us. Authoritative, commanding. Hands where we can see them, both of you! More boots on stairs. Paramedics in navy blue. They swarm around us with bags and equipment and urgent voices. Female, approximately 60 years old. Severely dehydrated, malnourished, possible hip fracture. BP is 70/40. Pulse weak and thready. Starting an IV. Get me 2 bags of saline. Ma'am, can you hear me? Ma'am? Hands everywhere. Needles. Tubes. They lift me onto something hard and flat. A stretcher. Blankets wrap around me, heavy and warm. The IV line pulls at my arm. Someone's taking photos. Flash, 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 the scratch marks, the utility sink, the bucket in the corner. Evidence. Through the chaos, I catch a glimpse of Marcus. He's in the living room, my living room, hands behind his back. Silver bracelets around his wrists, handcuffs. They carry me up the stairs. Each step jostles my hip and sends white pain through my body, but I don't care. I'm leaving the basement. I'm going up. The living room blurs past. My piano against the far wall, the couch where I taught hundreds of children to love music, the window where morning light used to pour through. Sienna stands near the fireplace. Her hands are cuffed too. Mascara runs down her cheeks in black rivers. She's not wearing my pearl earrings anymore. A female officer stands next to her, stone-faced. Marcus tries to speak as they wheel me past. Cordelia, don't. Desmond's voice cuts like a blade. Don't you dare say her name. A police officer, tall, gray-haired, weathered face, steps between them. Sir, I need you to step back. That's my wife. That's your victim. The officer's voice is granite. And you're under arrest for attempted murder, kidnapping, and domestic violence. The front door stands open. Night air rushes in, cool and clean and impossible. A neighbor stands on her porch across the street. Mrs. Chen. She teaches kindergarten at the elementary school. Her hand covers her mouth. Her eyes are wide with horror. What happened? She calls out. My God, what did he do to that poor woman? Other neighbors emerge. Mr. and Mrs. Patterson. The Johnsons. The college kids who rent the blue house on the corner. They all stare as the paramedics carry me down the front steps. The ambulance waits in the driveway. Back doors open like a mouth. They load me inside. The stretcher clicks into place. One paramedic climbs in with me. Young guy, maybe Desmond's age, kind eyes. Desmond appears at the door. I'm riding with her. Are you family? I'm her son. Get in. He climbs inside, sits on the small bench seat, reaches for my hand. The paramedic, his name tag says Rodriguez, adjusts the IV drip, wraps a blood pressure cuff around my other arm, places an oxygen mask over my face. Cool air flows into my lungs, sweet, pure. We're taking you to Memorial Hospital, Rodriguez says, checking monitors. You're going to be okay. You're safe now. Safe? The word sounds foreign. The ambulance doors close. The engine starts. Sirens wail. Through the back window, I watch my house disappear. The house where I taught piano lessons, where I raised my daughter, where I almost died. Red and blue lights paint the street. Police cars everywhere. Officers talking to neighbors, taking statements. Marcus and Sienna being led to separate patrol cars, her head down, his face gray with terror. They're going to jail, Mom. Desmond squeezes my hand. His voice is fierce, certain. I'll make sure they never hurt you again. I promise. The ambulance turns the corner. The house vanishes from view. Rodriguez leans over me, checking my pupils with a penlight. You've been through hell, but your vitals are stabilizing. Your son got you out just in time. Just in time. 2 more days and it would have been a body bag instead of an ambulance. The doctors are going to want to keep you for a while, Rodriguez continues, replacing the penlight in his pocket. Rehydration, nutrition. That hip probably needs surgery, but you're alive. That's what matters. Alive. Yes. Against all odds, against Marcus's plan, against 14 days of darkness. I'm alive. Desmond's thumb rubs circles on the back of my hand. The same motion I used to comfort him when he was small, when he had nightmares. When he fell off his bike and scraped his knees. Now he's comforting me. I'm so sorry, Mom. His voice cracks. I should have been here. Should have protected you. I try to speak. The oxygen mask muffles everything. I pull at it weakly. Rodriguez gently moves my hand away. Leave it on, ma'am. You need the oxygen. But I need to tell my son more. Need him to know. Desmond leans closer. What is it, Mom? I mouth the words, not your fault. His eyes fill with tears. I love you. So much. And I'm never letting you out of my sight again. The ambulance races through dark streets. Traffic lights blur past. Street lamps create strobing patterns through the windows. Rodriguez works steadily, checking monitors, adjusting IV flow, recording vitals on a tablet. BP coming up, 90/50 now, Sayasa. Heart rate still elevated but steady. My eyelids grow heavy. The oxygen mask feels like a cloud. The blankets are so warm. Stay awake if you can, Rodriguez says. Talk to her, son. Keep her engaged. Desmond shifts closer. Remember when I was 8 and I wanted to quit piano lessons? You told me that the best things in life require patience. That anything worth doing is worth doing badly at first. He smiles through tears. You were right. About everything. You're always right. The ambulance slows, turns, bright lights ahead. We're here, Rodriguez announces. Memorial Hospital emergency entrance. The back doors fly open. More people in scrubs. A doctor with silver hair and sharp eyes. They pull the stretcher out, wheels hit pavement. We're moving fast through automatic doors, fluorescent lights overhead, white walls. The smell of antiseptic. Female, 59, found locked in basement for 14 days, Rodriguez reports. Severe dehydration, malnutrition, possible hip fracture. The medical team swarms. Questions fly, hands check, monitors beep. Desmond's hand slips from mine as they wheel me through another set of doors. Sir, you'll need to wait here. That's my mother! We know. We'll take good care of her. There's a waiting room. His voice fades as they push me down a long hallway. The hospital room is white. Painfully white after 14 days of black. I've been here 3 weeks now. Long enough that the nurses know my name. long enough that my hip surgery scar has started to heal, long enough that I can sit up without the room spinning, long enough to testify. Desmond sits next to my bed, holding my hand. He took leave from work, hasn't left my side except to sleep on the fold-out chair the nurses brought in. The prosecutor called, he says. The trial starts next week. I nod. I've been waiting for this. They have everything they need. The photos from the basement, your medical records, the scratch marks on the walls, the text messages Marcus sent from your phone. He pauses. My testimony about finding you. Will I have to testify? They'd like you to, but only if you're strong enough. I look at my hands. The IV is gone now. My fingers are still thin, but not skeletal anymore. 3 weeks of steady food and water have brought me back from the edge. I'm strong enough. The courtroom is smaller than I expected. Wood paneling, high ceiling, rows of benches. I sit in the witness stand wearing clothes Desmond bought me. Nothing fits right yet. Everything hangs loose. The prosecutor, a woman named Janet Reeves with steel gray hair and kind eyes, stands before me. Mrs. Marsh, can you tell the court what happened on the morning of October 8th? I take a breath, look at the jury. 12 faces watching me with varying degrees of sympathy and horror. I was doing laundry in the basement. I heard footsteps on the stairs. 2 sets. When I turned around, my husband was there with his girlfriend. Across the room, Marcus sits at the defense table. He's lost weight. His suit doesn't fit right. He won't meet my eyes. Sienna sits at a separate table with her own lawyer. She's dyed her hair brown, trying to look innocent. I tell them everything. The pill bottle, the plan, the shove that fractured my hip, the door slamming shut. 14 days of darkness and rust water and conversations with my dead daughter. By the time I finish, 3 jurors are crying. Janet Reeves presents evidence. Photos of the basement flash on a screen. The scratch marks magnified, the makeshift toilet, the utility sink with rust stains. Medical records scroll past. Diagnosis: severe dehydration, malnutrition, fractured hip, multiple contusions, psychological trauma, Desmond testifies. His voice steady and professional until he describes finding me at the bottom of the stairs. Then he breaks, wipes his eyes, apologizes to the judge. The defense tries. Marcus's lawyer claims I was mentally unstable, that I locked myself down there during a breakdown, but the evidence doesn't lie. The exterior lock, the text messages sent from my phone while I was trapped. The contractor who came to the house and heard nothing when I was pounding on the door. The jury deliberates for 3 hours. When they return, the forewoman stands. In the case of the state versus Marcus Marsh, on the charge of attempted murder, we find the defendant guilty. The courtroom erupts. The judge's gavel pounds. In the case of the state versus Sienna Polk, on the charge of attempted murder and conspiracy, we find the defendant guilty. Marcus's face goes white. Sienna sobs into her hands. Sentencing comes 2 weeks later. The judge, an older woman with wire-rimmed glasses and a no-nonsense demeanor, looks down from her bench. Mr. Marsh, you took vows to protect your wife. Instead, tried to murder her in the most cruel way imaginable. You locked her in darkness, denied her food, and left her to die slowly while you lived above her, spending her final days planning your future with your accomplice. She pauses, looks at Sienna. Ms. Polk, you participated in this scheme with full knowledge of what you were doing. You wore the victim's jewelry while she suffered below you. You showed no remorse, no humanity. The gavel comes down. Marcus Marsh, you are hereby sentenced to 20 years in state prison without possibility of parole. Marcus's legs give out. His lawyer catches him. Sienna Polk, you are hereby sentenced to 15 years in state prison. Sienna's sobs grow louder. I sit in the gallery holding Desmond's hand. Feel nothing. No satisfaction. No anger. Just a quiet settling, like dust after a storm. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarm, cameras flash, questions fly. Desmond shields me. No comment, my mother needs rest. We drive home, not to the old house, but to a small apartment near Desmond's place. I sold the house immediately. Couldn't bear to step inside it again. 6 months later, I stand in my new studio. It's small, just 2 rooms above a bookstore on Main Street. But it has windows, huge windows that let in floods of sunlight. A piano sits against the far wall. Not my old one. I couldn't take that either. This one is newer, smaller, but it sounds beautiful. My first student arrives at 3 o'clock, a girl named Maya, 8 years old with braids and shy eyes. Mrs. Marsh, my mom says you're the best piano teacher in town. I smile. Let's start with scales. Put your fingers here. She does. Tentative, careful. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, I tell her. The best things in life require patience. Anything worth doing is worth doing badly at first. She plays, the notes are clumsy, uneven, perfect. After the lesson, I walk to the window, look down at the street below. People shopping, laughing, living their normal lives. I'm one of them now. Normal. Alive. Desmond calls every day, visits twice a week. He's dating someone, a respiratory therapist named Keisha, who makes him laugh and treats me like family. Mom, you seem happy, he said last week over dinner. I am, I told him. And I meant it. Marcus writes letters from prison. I don't open them. They go straight into the trash. Sienna tried to friend me on social media. Desmond blocked her. Some wounds don't heal. Some people don't deserve forgiveness. But I'm learning that survival isn't about forgiving. It's about moving forward. The sun sets outside my window. Orange and pink streaking across the sky. I make myself tea in the small kitchen, chamomile with honey. On the wall, I've hung a photo of Penelope, age 12, before the cancer. She's laughing at something off camera, her whole face lit up with joy. I made it, baby, I whisper to her. I'm still here. The studio is quiet now, just me and the piano and the fading light. I sit down at the keys, run my fingers over them, play the first notes of Chopin's Nocturne, the one I played at Penelope's funeral. But this time, it doesn't sound sad. It sounds like survival, like strength, like a woman who went into darkness and clawed her way back out. Marcus thought I was boring, predictable, easy to eliminate. He was wrong. The boring ones survive. We're underestimated, overlooked, dismissed. And that's exactly what makes us dangerous. Then, if you've ever been called worthless, dismissed as too old or too weak, or had someone try to erase you from your own life, you still have power. Your quiet strength is what they never see coming. The people who underestimate you are writing their own defeat. To anyone fighting their own battle right now, your silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. Your patience isn't surrender. It's preparation. Stay quiet, stay sharp, and let your actions be the thunder they never heard coming. What lesson hit you hardest from Cordelia's story? And if you were in her shoes, would you have survived those 14 days or done something different? Don't stop here. Click the next video on your screen right now and watch another powerful story from our channel. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss a story like this. And share your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.